Okay, Grant, so second in the 5K. How are you feeling about the result?
Pretty good. My legs felt way better than they did in the 10K, so I was really happy with the responsiveness I had out of my legs. I wanted to take that race with a K to go today, and from a mile to go to 400 to go, I was boxed in bad. I found myself in a really bad spot, and I couldn't get out. So that was not the race plan. That wasn't even close to the race plan, but I felt like I closed well, and I was happy with my last lap. Cole's a tough guy to beat when it turns into a 400-meter dash, but I was happy with how my legs felt and how I closed, and ultimately got on the team. My tactics had to get thrown out the window. I messed up. I was stuck. Couldn't run the race I wanted to. I think I could have strung it out a little bit more and potentially give myself a better percentage chance of winning. But ultimately, I still got on the team. So that's the main thing coming out of these championships. I think you look at all the events, and there were a lot of surprises this week. So to be back on the team twice, I'm happy with that. Still a couple things I need to work on. But ultimately, I'm going to Tokyo twice. So
what are the things you need to work on?
I need to work on my tactics. And in that 10K, I just didn't feel good. So maybe need to think about the taper a little more closely. I did kind of the same taper I usually do, but for some reason on Thursday, my legs just didn't feel that good. So got to figure that out. Maybe it's a taper thing. Maybe it's a little bit more speed work. Maybe it's bringing down the volume a little more. I'll have to talk to my coach, but tactics need to get sharpened up as well. And I've got six weeks now, which is a lot of time to get really fit, a lot of time to get unfit too. So, make sure that I'm on the upward trend. Yeah.
Right after a few 66 and 67s, did you think, well, I'm just going to start running 63s now, so this is not a 13:30 race? So did that occur to you?
I wouldn't have done it too far out. My plan was to do it with 1K to go. So with 1K to go, I wanted to run like a 57, 58 and really, split the thing open. But I was stuck. I kept looking around and trying to find a way out, but I couldn't, without pushing someone, I couldn't get out. So I needed to be a little more proactive in thinking, well, if I want to go with a K to go, maybe I need to find myself free with a mile to go and run on the outside a little bit, but at least be free. So I had to throw the plan out the window, but when Nico went with 500 to go, that opened it up a decent amount, so I was able to get free. And I was happy with how I closed, but that wasn't the plan going in, how the race ended up. So that did cross my mind to go, but it wouldn't have been to run 63s with 6 laps to go. Is to run 57, 58 with 2.5 to go.
Did you know Cole was coming on the inside at the end there?
I did, yeah. I was on the outside because I was on Nico's shoulder, so there's nothing I could do to, slam the door on him or anything. It was just going to be a foot race. And, Cole's the Olympic champion in the 1500, so he's a tough guy to beat in that last 100. I felt like I was happy with how my last 100 went, though. Cole just was better.
What does the next 6 weeks look like for you in between now and Worlds, and will you race at all?
I'll race again. The plan right now is to go back to where I live in Utah, be there for a week. I'll set up camp in St. Moritz for about 3-4 weeks. Likely I'll race Lausanne Diamond League, depending on how that goes, Zurich. And then I'll go to an altitude camp in Japan in the lead up to the actual World Championships. So I'll at least race one more time, hopefully 2 more times. But it's 6 weeks to go now, so bring the volume down, start to really get a one massive training cycle going into the World Championships, and then hopefully a big long taper so that I feel good when it really counts.
What type of races are you expecting in Tokyo for the 5 and 10? Very different than here this week, obviously, or?
I think they'll be much faster. Yeah.
You're going to be better geared for that type of race?
I usually do better off a fast pace, looking historically with what I've done well at. You have to be ready for everything. I think every year I think the 5K is going to be a little faster at the World Championships or the Olympics, and usually we run 13:10 to 13:20, and that's a good race for Jakob. That's a good race for Cole. Maybe someone will push it a little more. Usually the 10Ks, the Ethiopian crew, the Kenyan crew, they like to wind it up a bit more. So those races are usually quite honest. So yeah, I'm confident in that type of race. So should be should be good.
You spoke on Wednesday about the situation with the prize money Grand Slam track, and we saw their statement. So I guess, do you take any next steps? So like, where do you go from here with that situation?
So I've been busy racing the past few days.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't taken next steps.
But like, what do you think those could be, or like for you?
I mean, the next steps would be if everybody was substantially upset, there'd be a class action lawsuit. The thing about doing that is, you're really squeezing a company that clearly doesn't have funding right now, which sometimes isn't the best idea. So we'll see. I haven't had direct conversations with Grand Slam since their statement the other day. That's something I'll think about over the next month or so. This weekend I've just been focused on racing. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.